Hello, and here we are for a second video for section 4.3 on system of equations with word problems. Remember here that the only thing you're doing is writing the word problem or the system of equations out, and then you're using Desmos, and Desmos is going to do the heavy lifting here. So the whole point today is for you to be able to write the system of equations and actually show what the system is describing. So let's look at this question here where we have a collection of nickels and dimes. Okay, we're told that that collection has 59 coins. We know that they're nickels and dimes and that's the only type of coin that's going to be in this collection. So this is our first total, is the number 59. Remember that with each system of equations, you're looking for two totals. So it's nice that we know the first one is coins, but we also need to have a second total. So there's going to be some other number that comes into play here. When you're thinking about this particular collection, I just want you to be keeping in mind what the collection looks like. There are a lot of different coins that we use, but this collection in particular is only made up of two types of coins. There are only nickels and dimes in this particular collection. So I don't need to be thinking about pennies, quarters, or anything else. I'm just focused here on the 59 coins coming specifically from some number of nickels and some number of dimes. I know that they'll have to add up to 59. That's basically what the first sentence tells you. It's kind of a lot of information for just one sentence. The second sentence says, if the coins have a combined value of $4.35, how many of each coin are in the collection? Okay, value is a total. So not only do you know how many coins there are, you know that the coins have an actual value of $4.35. So there's only going to be one way to make 59 coins that are nickels and dimes have a value of $4.35. This is where you have to kind of think to yourself, what is actually going to go into making this equation? You're going to have to need to know how many nickels there are, sure, but you also need to know how much each nickel is worth. So the second equation brings in the actual money that's associated with the coin. So you've got the number of nickels being multiplied by the cost or the value of a nickel. And then I have to do the number of dimes multiplied by the cost or the value of a dime. The exact same thing. This is how I'm going to end up getting the monetary value of the actual collection, knowing that together the nickels and the dimes have to add up to 59. Right now, though, this system of equations isn't quite what I'm used to it looking like, so we will fix it in a second. But you can see that I've got nickels and dimes on one side, and then I have either a number of coins or the actual monetary value of the coin on the other side. So this is my more basic looking system, but Desmos isn't going to like the N's and the D's instead of the letters X and Y. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rewrite this a little bit. I'm going to decide that X is going to be the number of nickels that are in the collection, and that means that Y will end up being the number of dimes. As a decimal, a nickel is worth 0.05, so 5/100ths of a cent, or just you can say 5 cents if you'd like. If I chose for X to be the nickel, that means that Y has to be the dime. And then as a decimal, because we're not writing 5 cents with the cent symbol, we're using 0.10 because each nickel is worth 5 cents and each dime is worth 10 cents. So now I have two equations. The first equation is going to be how many coins are in the collection, and the second equation is going to be the actual value of that collection. I didn't like that line there. Let's fix that. That still looks bad. Oh well. Okay. So the first equation is going to be talking about the number of coins in the collection. So you have the number of nickels, which I chose to be X, added to the number of dimes, which I chose to be Y, and that's going to have to add up to 59 because that's how many total coins are in the collection. The second equation is going to be a little bit more complex. So we know that each nickel is 5 cents, and we'll multiply that by how many nickels there are. Then we know each dime is 10 cents, and we'll multiply that number by how many dimes there are. This is the equation that's going to get us to $4.35 because this is where the monetary value and not just the physical number of the coins comes into play. At this point, you're ready for Desmos. So make sure you're paying attention to what you're typing in. You're typing numbers in correctly, accurately, all that good stuff. And then always check before you write your final answer down that you did write the entire system. You did type it in completely accurately, because it's easy to miss one button, one number, one decimal place. Next, you're looking for the actual solution to the system of equations. Should be an ordered pair, because if you had two totals, you should have two numbers as your answer. This ordered pair is 31, 28, and so that's telling me specifically how many of each coin I have. 31 and 28 add up to 59, so I know that that works. Next, I just have to be able to break both of those numbers down and figure out how many of each coin there is. I chose for X to be nickels, so 31 is going to be in the X coordinate position of the ordered pair for 31 nickels. I chose for Y to be 28, or Y to be dimes, so the number in the Y coordinate is 28, which tells us that in this collection there are 28 dimes. 31 and 28 do make 59, and then if you wanted to check your math, you could absolutely plug both of those numbers in to the second equation and see if you end up with $4.35, because that's the whole point. You should. But this is the solution to this particular system of equations, and Desmos makes that way easier.